On August 28, 2020, two Russian fighters surprised the crew of an American B-52-8 Stratofortress that was conducting a routine operation over international airspace. This video, taken within the US bomber, was released by the Pentagon. It shows the moment two Su-27s execute a maneuver known as the headbutt at an incredibly close range to the American B-52. Officially reported as an unsafe intercept, the hazardous and unwelcome maneuver took place in seconds and required great ability to pull off in a high-speed game of chicken. On the day the footage was taken, the U.S. Air Force was flying 6 B-52-8 Stratofortress strategic bombers as part of Mission Allied Sky. Along with 80 aircraft from other countries, the B-52s performed overflights of 30 member nations. The objective: display the air power and interoperability of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If ever a conflict was to break out in Europe or North America, the alliance would work together as one force. 4 B-52s were sent to the Royal Air Force Station in Gloucestershire, England, to complete the mission's European leg. There, they teamed up with Hungarian, Czech, Romanian, and Turkish fighters. The other two American bombers were launched from the Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota. They were assigned to fly over Canada and the United States next to CF-18 Hornet fighters from the Royal Canadian Air Force. The United States European Command stated that the single-day mission had been long planned and wasn't in response to any specific event. However, tension between Russia and the West had been increasing at the time, and Allied Sky was perceived as a message to Moscow. Such an exercise is not all that uncommon. Since 2018, the U.S. Air Force has participated in NATO's Bomber Task Force missions in Europe. The nuclear-powered attack submarine USS Seawolf was also spotted off the coast of Norway. These sorts of displays are useful for signaling the alliance's unity and demonstrating the U.S.'s airborne and seaborne nuclear power. The event in question took place at 11:19 a.m. on August 28, 2020. The B-52 was flying over international airspace east of the Black Sea. Suddenly, two Russian Su-27 pilots intercepted it. The flankers are believed to have taken off from Crimea, where Russian heavy fighters stand alert to intercept NATO aircraft. At close range from the B-52, one of the fighters came in from the left and performed a maneuver known as thumping or headbutting. With the afterburners blazing, the Su-27 pulled in front of the bomber and then flew away. This is considered a technique to harass another aircraft, not a deliberate attempt to create an accident. This footage shows how a second Russian fighter performs the same maneuver, but at an even closer range and right in front of the B-52's nose. The Su-27 had only brief seconds to avoid the collision. The B-52 was covering approximately 750 feet per second, and the Russian fighter crossed at an approximate of 100 feet from its nose. This created turbulence and restricted the B-52's ability to maneuver. Proper in-flight intercept procedures of U.S. aircraft state that the fighter should have first approached and identified itself. Then, the Su-27 should have slowly turned to indicate the B-52 to follow. All this should have been done with extreme caution of wake turbulence, which can disturb the air as vortexes form behind an aircraft as it passes through the sky. In a statement, General Jeff Harigian, U.S. Air Force's Europe and Air Force's Africa commander, said, quote, "Actions like these increase the potential for mid-air collisions, are unnecessary, and inconsistent with good airmanship and international flight rules." He added that the U.S. was exercising its freedom of navigation and overflight, and operates according to international safety standards. This close call wasn't the only incident reported during the one-day mission. Another American B-52 was intercepted by a Russian Su-27 that was flying from Kaliningrad. The pursuit started over international and into Danish airspace, near the island of Bornholm. The Russian fighter violated the airspace of an allied nation. However, it turned back before Danish quick reaction alert aircraft were launched to counter the violation. Days later, the Russian Defense Department denied violating the border. About this event, General Harigian said, quote, "This incident demonstrates Russia's disrespect of international norms and for the sovereign airspace of an allied nation." He warned that NATO would remain vigilant, ready, and prepared to secure airspace at any time of day. 13 days before, an EP-3E Ares II reconnaissance aircraft was escorted off Russia's maritime border by an Su-27. This is one of many increasingly dangerous incidents reported in August of 2020 between Russian and American aircraft flying over international airspace.